The only thing Larry Elder said in his silly commentary the other day is that we have a country to save. But I will argue that we have a country to save from pricks like Larry Elder. So what I would like to do is to share with you his silly perspective, and I will comment.
Hey everybody, it's Saturday. I know you're worried about inflation, so am I. I know you're worried about the border, so am I. I know you're worried about the way this man pulled all of our troops out of Afghanistan, leaving Americans behind, leaving $100 billion worth of equipment behind, giving rise to the best armed terrorist faction in the whole world. I know you're worried about all of that, but let's also understand that we live in America. We live in a country that's the most free country than all of countries in all of human history. And if you were lucky enough to be born here, even further to have two good parents the way I did, you were doubly lucky. So just try and keep some perspective. We got a country to save. Out.
Yes, for morons like this guy, Larry Elder. If I would have been in California a few weeks ago, I would have voted yes on the recall and voted for the Green Party candidate. I might still have done it in retrospect. However, California was done a great service by basically not allowing this moron to become governor. Inflation. I really think that he doesn't care that much about inflation. Because if he cared about inflation, he would worried about college debt. Maybe canceling student debt because college tuition is expensive. Housing and rent. He sides with property developers and he sides with landlords. He does not side with people who are trying to struggle to buy their own home or to pay their rent monthly. And he opposes things like the eviction moratorium. Prescription drugs. As soon as he says that the U.S. government should negotiate for lower drug prices for senior citizens under Medicare, I might take him seriously. No, I'm not going to hold my breath. A lot of Democrats are too chicken shit to do it. Why would I think that Larry Elder would be any different or being better on that issue? Medical inflation? He doesn't care about medical inflation because if he did, he would favor taking our phasing out our private health insurance system and replacing it with a quote unquote national health insurance. Basically, Medicare for all at a minimum, the way it is in Canada, or a full blown socialized medical system like they have in the UK, known as the National Health Service. If he can go and get on board with either Medicare for all, the Bernie Sanders plan, or go with what they do in Great Britain, have a National Health Service, then I will start paying attention to what he has to say with respect and seriousness. Until then, fuck off, Larry Elder. Borders? Well, we all know that there is a borders crisis. I do not think that an influx of people with darker complexions speaking Spanish is the scourge of society or anything like that. But, to each is their own, I guess. But the thing about it is, if he wants to do something about the border crisis, well, there are things that can be done. And it's not. I'm not even going to argue that's a perfect solution, but this is where I'm a little more on the centrist side of the equations. I am neither for open borders and I'm not for closing borders. I'm for a workable immigration plan, and that means having amnesty for those who are here. That means re-examining our trade policies and not having corporately managed trade, which makes life so unbearable and insufferable in other countries that they have to come here to search for a better way of life, and at the same time preserving our manufacturing base and preserving our unionized living wage jobs, what few exists left. Foreign policy. Maybe if the U.S. stopped bullying other countries, whether it's the way we bully countries in Latin America, which causes the immigration crisis to take place here, or going halfway across the globe over there where the Middle East is at, and the U.S. Neoconservative foreign policy of invasions and drone strikes and sanctions against country, and honestly, there's not really a good actor in the Middle East, whether it's Israel, whether it's Iran, whether it's Saudi Arabia, whether it's Egypt, or what have you. They're all Syria, you name it. They all have some flaws. And maybe if we re-examine the way we do foreign policy in the Middle East, we wouldn't have a refugees crisis either. Ever thought about that, Larry Elder? What about Afghanistan? He's getting mad because Joe Biden. The one thing that I am always going to give him credit on is to pull out of Afghanistan. I mean, he still sucks on everything else. We can agree on that. We have different solutions on what can make Joe Biden a better president. I think that Joe Biden would be a better president if he listened more to the policies of Bernie Sanders. I don't necessarily even meaning the Bernie Sanders of today, but maybe the Bernie Sanders of a bygone era, the pre-2016 Bernie Sanders era. I think that any Democrat that will listen to the pre-2016 Bernie Sanders plans for the United States, those would be good policies to have. But anyway, I'm getting off to the side of the subject here. Afghanistan, yeah, a fucking base. I'm so glad that we pull out of Afghanistan. That's $300 million daily that we are saving. It's physically conservative. Hey, Larry, I thought all you conservatives were wanting to go and get this spending under control. We got to get spending under control. Yeehaw! Well, maybe if we get out of these neocon wars abroad and cut back our military defense spending by 50%, maybe we could use some of these savings. And it's a trade-off. I will ideally like to see it go to feed the homeless and to make sure that they got a shelter over their head, and that all Americans got medical care, and that we could kind of be kind of like Norway or Sweden with regard to the safety net and my perception of what socialism is. You know, if we can do it with that, that's fine. I would love it ideally, but it's a trade-off. If you want to go and not bomb people and put it into paying off the trillions that we owe in debt, it's a trade-off. I'll go along with that. I'm a reasonable guy, even though I would like to socialize medicine and all the other goodies that the Europeans got in their society. If we just put it to solving the national debt problem and just get out of these neocon wars, we're still going to be better off. So I can accept that. So you want to talk about freedom, Larry Elder? We can have a conversation about freedom. You know, like for example, maybe you want to get on board with things like abolishing the death penalty. That's a freedom situation that I'm concerned about. And so you want to sit there and criticize what other countries do when we incarcerate more people than any other society. Even a lot of totalitarian countries I have no time for incarcerate less people than we do here in the United States, because we have a very fucked up criminal justice system. And people want to talk about the social credit system in China, which I'm not particularly keen on either. But, you know, we already kind of have one with private corporations. And if you commit a bad crime at an early age, or you commit a crime later on in life, you are stained and fucked for life, and you will probably not get a decent paying job, and you have your rights to voting taken away from you, and you know, and there are no second chances for people that may have fucked up in their lives. So you want to talk about freedom, Larry Elder? We'll have a conversation. If you don't even begin to want to have a conversation about these issues I mentioned, maybe you should just shut the fuck up. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, or comment anyway, we'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Also, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. And until next time, I am American Social Democracy, Peace, and Class Struggle. Absolutely now.